All right, so the book that I'm using is Beginning and Intermediate Algebra, an open source textbook available for free at this download by Tyler Wallace. He's pretty awesome to post this online for free. I mean, I don't know why everyone doesn't use this book, or they charge students for books at higher level education for this course. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're going to expand on it. So we're doing 1.3 general linear equations. And these are very tough, so we're going to do them one at a time. And it's very easy to get mixed up, so it's important to do every step thoughtfully. Number one, 2 minus 3a minus 8 equals 1. Now this is tricky here because the first thing we're taught to do instinctively is to do what's in the brackets first. But we have a problem here because we have the terms are not like terms. We have here an a term, some number with a, and some number. We can't add or subtract that. We could multiply it if it was a multiplication sign, there'd be no problem, or dividing, but that's not the case. We're adding and subtracting. So to solve this, what we do is we use the distributive property. The distributive property says whatever number is here, you multiply by this and by this, except there isn't a number. It's 2 minus whatever's in brackets. In that case, you put a 1 here. So you have to pretend there's a 1. So if you look at this, because you always look to the left to see what the sign of the number is, we have 2 minus 1 minus 3a minus 8 equals 1. We take this number and we multiply. So negative 1 times negative 3a equals 3a. Negative 1 times minus 8 equals 8. I'm putting the plus sign here because 3 is positive. Equals 1. Now, it's beginning to look familiar. We have an unknown here, and everything else here is known. So we want to put the unknown on one side and what we know on the other side. So 2 plus 8 equals 10. So it's 3a plus 10 equals 1. Do we agree? And we want to put the 10 on this side, so we'll subtract 10 on both sides. And we get 3a equals 1 minus 10 equals negative 9. And here we divide both by 3, and we get a equals a negative 3. Number 2. 2 times negative 3n plus 8 equals negative 20. All right, so we have here 2. Okay, so first thing we do is the parentheses. We can't. Right? We've got a letter here, and we can't do this addition. And they have to be equal. They have to be like terms. So here we have a number, an n, and here we just have a number. We can't add or subtract in that case. So the way we get around it is by using the distributive property. We multiply the first number here by the inside number. When there's a space between a number and anything else in brackets or another number with a dot or anything, it really means multiplication. You're multiplying this by all of this. And we do that by using the distributive property. So 2 times negative 3n equals negative 6n. 2 times positive 8 equals 16, and that equals 20. It hasn't changed on that side. So look at what we're stuck here with. We want to get all the numbers on one side and all the letters on the other, right? So we have negative 6n here, so we'll just write down negative 6n. Negative 6n. And here we have plus 16. To get rid of that, we'll subtract 16, and here we'll subtract 16 here too. And what we're left with is negative 6n equals minus 36, right? Minus 20 minus 16 equals minus 36. And then, of course, what you're going to do is You're going to divide by negative 6 here on this side to get rid of the negative 6 here. And you're going to divide by negative 6 here, and you're going to be left with 6. Negative divided by negative equals a positive. And there you go. The answer is 6. Number 3, negative 5 minus 4 plus 2v equals negative 50. All right. There is no plus or minus sign, so it's a multiplication. Same problem, familiar now. We have a number, and we have a number with a letter. We cannot add or subtract that. They have to be the same thing, like terms, they'll say. So we take this bugger right here, and we multiply by this bugger. Negative 5 times negative 4 equals 20, right? We take away the negative sign when you multiply two negatives. Negative 5 times positive 2v, which is really saying minus 5 times 2 times v, right? And that equals minus 10v. That equals minus 50. We just drag that down. Once again, we have the familiar problem. We need to get everything we know on one side. So what do we know? We know about what 20 is. We know what 50 is. Let's get rid of this 20 here by subtracting 20 and subtracting 20 here. And we're left with minus 10v equals minus 50 minus 20 equals minus 70. And to get to minus 10v, I took minus 10 times v, and if I want to get rid of that minus 10, I'm going to divide by negative 10. If I multiply something by number, I can divide by number to come back to what it was before. So v times negative 10 equals negative 10v, divided by negative 10 equals v. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 10. And that is v equals 7. And I am right. That's the good answer. Number 4. 4 out the door. 2 minus 8 minus 4 plus 3x equals 34. All right. So, what do we got? We have a 2 here, minus 8, nothing here, right? There's nothing. So we're assuming they're multiplying this number. We're faced with the same problem here. We have an unknown and a known. They're not like terms. We can't add or subtract them. So we will use the distributive property to solve for this. So 2 minus 8 times minus 4 equals plus 32. Minus 8 times plus 3x equals minus 24x, because that's really minus 8 times 3 times x, right? Equals 34. Oh boy, I can see this where this is going. 2 plus 32 equals 34, minus 24x equals 34. If I want to get rid of the 34 on this side, so I'm left only with the x, I will subtract 34 from both sides, but I have a little thing here. Not a difficulty, but now we have minus 24x equals 34 minus 34 equals 0. And if I divide both sides by 24, by negative 24, I'm left with x equals 0 over minus 24. 0 over anything is 0. So that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Number 5. 66 equals 6 times 6 plus 5x equals. Well, once again, the same bloody problem. 6 plus an unknown, you can't do it. So you use the distributive property to solve. So let's do this. 6 times 6 equals 36. 6 times 5x is really 6 times 5 times x, which equals positive 30x. And all that equals 66. Familiar problem. The x stays on this side, so we got to get rid of this 36. And we subtract both sides by 36. And we're left with 30x. This cancels out. And we have 30 here, right? 66 minus 36 equals 30. 30x divided by 30, and 30 divided by 30 gives us x here, right? And a 1. X equals 1. Number 6, 32 equals, why did I circle the 32? 32 equals 2 minus 5 minus 4n plus 6. All right. Why don't we just get rid of this 2 right away? Subtract 2 here, right? 30 equals minus 5 minus 4n plus 6. You will be tempted perhaps to subtract this 5, but you can't since you're multiplying that 5 by whatever's in the brackets. It's not a subtraction. This is negative 5 multiplied by something. It is not 5 plus or minus something. Minus 5 plus or minus something, I should rather say. You can't do it. You got to do the distributive property to solve for the brackets. So let's do this. Minus 5 times minus 4 equals 20. Minus 5, minus 20n, sorry. Minus 5 times plus 6 equals minus 30. Am I going to get another 0? Whatever. I think I am. I shouldn't be getting another 0. Doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? What the heck am I doing wrong? Is the book wrong? They're saying the answer is 3. Anyways, let's just keep on going. So, oh no, it's fine. Okay, good. So I have 20n minus 30. How do I get rid of this 30? I add 30 here. I add 30 here. And I get 60 here. And this crosses out equals 20n. 20n divided by 20 equals n. And 60 divided by 20, if I remove these zeros, 6 divided by 2 equals 3. N equals 3. Just a few tricks here. Whenever you have equal amounts of zeros, you can just cross these out when you're dividing, and that becomes 6 over 2. That's how I got that answer really fast. All right, so next video we will continue.